So if your head coach hasn't won a championship within 4 years of him being hired, he's probably fired. But more importantly, he wasn't going to win a championship anyway. And I'm going to use this to do my own picks because I love a good narrative and dynasty argument. And nothing says more blue blooded than winning your championship immediately because you were just born better than everybody else. So Bill Belichick was in his second year. Andy Reid was in his seventh year. But if we readjust this from when he got Pat Mahomes, it would be his third year. John Gruden was his first year with the Buccaneers. Mike Tomlin, his second year. Pete Carroll, his third year. Sean Payton, and we're going to do a quick transition to current coaches, and we're going to use Sean Payton as a past and present argument. His fourth year. Third year, he's with the Broncos right now. DeMeco Ryans of the Texans is in the third year of his Texans run. Mike McDonald is in his second year of his Seahawks run. Ben Johnson is in his first year. McVay's in his second year. When he won his championship, well, actually, he went to the Super Bowl. And in his 3 years after, he won a championship. He is now in his third year after his championship. So this kind of takes McVay as an example of contracts playing a big role of roster turnover because you're getting new players and your system is being retaught to players. So you don't run the risk of being zoned out by half your team nowadays. So you're gonna get rid of them. Like, think of Kyle Shanahan's 49ers. Same deal. Third year. He didn't win the Super Bowl, but he made it. Deebo Samuel, the guys of that nature. Christian McCaffrey was actually on my Panthers during his first run at the Super Bowl. So a lot of these guys aren't. Brock Purdy wasn't even on the team. A lot of these guys are hearing Kyle Shanahan speak and all that stuff a lot of times for the first time. Very little turnover from one championship run to another in a lot of these teams. Maybe one or two players. So, yeah, as a special, we go back to Andy Reid because I know a lot of people are going to turn to him. Your seventh year as a quarterback, I mean, as a coach, and you still haven't won a championship, shows great patience from an organization. I know people were talking about the Steelers and Ravens. Those guys won very early. I know I didn't mention John Harbaugh on this, but he won very early with the Ravens as well, with the famous Flacco fling in the playoffs. So, I'm sitting here looking at my playoff predictions now. And I have to say, the only team I feel is truly eliminated is the Bills. So we're going to go with a nice little dynasty run for the first-time head coaches. Patriots versus the Bears in the Super Bowl. Now, according to McVay and Shanahan's history, they're due. So if you're picking them, I'm totally okay with that. But if you're picking the Bills, you're totally doing that off the strength of Josh Allen. Which is fine, I guess. But I'm looking at history, and it's really determined by if these coaches have a great quarterback, a great coach, great quarterback. You're going to have to determine if that great coach is there in Buffalo. And I'm not saying that to cast any shade on a coach. I don't do that. That's not my content. What I'm saying is history doesn't lie. And the Bills have a history of just coming up short in the playoffs with this current setup. Very few times have we seen a team in recent history, have the same setup and fail repeatedly in the playoffs and then bust through with the same setup. No Pat Mahomes switcheroo, nothing like that. It's usually very, very quickly when a coach like Tom Coughlin and Eli Manning get together, right? It happens very quickly because chemistry and human behavior and contracts and money and things of that nature get in the way of true continuity over a long period of time. Even Patriots teams with Bill Belichick, which he bought a lot of time winning in his second year. Those teams were built off a continuity over time, and they shifted, especially in that '05 season when Brady broke his leg, to a more offensive style. People see these teams as like a homogeneous gel. Even the old timer teams like Monsters of the Midway Bears or the Steel Curtain Steelers, who we remember a lot of their consistent players. This happened before free agency. You know, maybe recently with the Randy Moss and Chris Carter Vikings. This is that team was broken up by free agency. So you got to look at teams who and coaches that can flip over rosters very quickly as their main skill set, not necessarily great leaders. And people who can do both is probably preferred, like Tomlin. But you can see how you could go 8-8 over a long period of time and not win any championships because you don't have the quarterback. And people, and that is what it is, my friends. Thank you for watching. Bears, Patriots, in the ultimate showdown of first year head coaches in the well, not first time because Vrabel made it there before, but ultimate showdown in the Super Bowl. Who's gonna get their first championship? Who's gonna start this dynastic run, hopefully, and with their young quarterback, and who's just gonna be another footnote to history of what could have been. No hate, by the way, no emotion, just facts.